Hello everyone, thank you for joining our webinar on real-time integration between Salesforce and Eloqua using Lightning Connect. Sorry for keeping you waiting, we had faced few technical difficulties. So here we go. Good morning to everyone present here. Now as we begin, let's review a few pointers on how we can interact better during the webinar. What you're looking at is the attendee interface of GoToWebinar. There is a viewer window on the left, and this allows you to see everything that we will be sharing from our screen. And the control panel at the left is how you can participate in today's event. We would want the session to be interactive, so please do ask questions and share your comments. We'll be reviewing your questions as they come in, and we'll take them up towards the end during the question and answer session. Also, this webinar is being recorded, and everyone will receive an email with a link to view a recording of today's event. So moving on, to begin with, I would like to introduce you to our company, Suyati Technology. Suyati provides marketing technology and integration services for companies that wish to combine the best of breed solutions, and we create a unified approach to customer acquisition. We enable system integration between various CMS and CRM platforms and a slew of e-commerce, marketing automation, social media listening, email and social marketing, and customer service systems. Suyati's custom technology solutions have been deployed in companies in the US, Western Europe, and Australia, and we have helped many enterprises leverage the web, cloud, mobile technologies to acquire customers through integrated digital marketing. We have strategic partnerships with various technological giants such as Salesforce CRM, Sitenative CMS, and MongoDB. We are also a Microsoft Certified Gold Partner. Now, speaking about Salesforce, we are an app exchange partner, and we offer topmost solutions in customization, development, migration, and integration. We have a team of 30 plus developers, which includes Dev401 certified developers, and we have created around 1 million LOC delivering out-of-box solutions which end up as industry benchmarks. So I would like to introduce you to our featured speaker, Aditya. Aditya is a senior software developer who has been focusing on Salesforce projects at Suyati Technologies. Being a passionate Salesforce developer, he has obtained a Winter 15 Dev401 Salesforce certification. His skills include Apex programming, JavaScript, C#, etc. And he works mainly on Visual Force framework. We have another speaker with us, Dennis. Dennis is a software developer at Suyati Technologies. He's a Salesforce.com certified Force.com developer. He also presently works primarily on Visual Force pages. Some of his skills include Apex programming, JavaScript, C#, Ajax, etc. And he's also familiar with Adobe software such as Photoshop and Illustrator. Social media tags, please do feel free to post questions, follow us, or even tag us. You can use the hashtags and handles that you see on the screen. Now, I'll take you through the agenda of the day. We'll start off with an introduction to Lightning Connect, and then we'll speak more on the before and after Lightning Connect. Then we'll deep dive into the external objects in OData. We'll conclude with the demo, and then we will be answering more questions. So that's all from my end. I'll pass it over to Aditya. Over to you.
Thank you, Mukta. So let's go on to see what is Lightning. So before we move on to the topic of the day, Lightning Connect, let's see what is Salesforce1 Lightning. Salesforce1 Lightning is the next generation Salesforce1 platform introduced in the last year's Dreamforce. It provides developers, partners, administrators, and every Salesforce user to build dynamic web applications targeting mobile first. It provides point and click and code-free tools for developers to build applications on Salesforce1 platform across service, community, marketing, sales, and analytics cloud. The major tools introduced under Lightning are the schema builder, which provides an easy interface to design a schema, Lightning process builder, which is a rebrand of workflow with some added advantages and provides a better user interface. Then comes the Lightning components, a rebrand of Aura framework that makes use of JavaScript, CSS, or any other web-based code on the client side, and Apex on the server side to build reusable, responsive, and fast application components. Then we have Lightning App Builder, which provides powerful user interface where we can just drag and drop the required components and create a fully functional applications. And then finally, on to the topic of the day, Lightning Connect. Lightning Connect helps us to connect Salesforce with other legacy or back office applications easily, providing access to legacy data from your Salesforce environment using OData protocol. Well, to speak more on Lightning Connect, let me pass over to Dennis.
Thank you, Aditya. So, what is Lightning Connect? Lightning Connect was launched in Dreamforce 2014 and was made generally available in the Winter 15 release of Salesforce. It provides access to data from a wide variety of external sources, including CRMs like SAP, Sugar CRM, Microsoft Dynamics, or marketing automation tools like Eloqua, Marketo, ExactTarget, or databases like MS SQL Server, MongoDB, MySQL, etc. With point-and-click approach, it provides seamless access to external data from Salesforce environment. It treats those data like native objects in Salesforce so that they can be accessed in Apex, Visualforce, SOQL, SOSL, lookup relationships, custom types, and details. The biggest advantage here is the data doesn't reside in Salesforce. It's tapped real-time from the external system. Lightning Connect uses the emerging Open Data Protocol, which is also known as OData, to fetch data from the external data source. This protocol is very lightweight and very easy to use. It is supported by various vendors including Microsoft, IBM, and SAP. This data is configured in external objects within Salesforce CRM. We'll be talking more about OData and external objects in the further slides. Now, let's compare how data was fetched before and after the introduction of Lightning Connect.
Thank you, Dennis. So we move on to what happens before and after the Lightning Connect introduction. So before the introduction of Lightning Connect, we used web services like REST and SOAP for bringing data from external data sources or back office systems like SAP, Oracle, MS Dynamics, etc. Now, this involved a lot of custom coding. A huge amount of development time was required for developing an integration, which involved creating an application in the back office system, researching API documentation for finding appropriate endpoints, generating consumer keys and secrets, obtaining access tokens based on consumer keys, authorizing the application, and finally retrieving the data through API calls, which you need to store in the Salesforce environment. Now, this is a very cumbersome process which can be done only with the help of an experienced developer. Whereas Lightning provides the user a brilliant workaround around this problem. Instead of performing so many steps, Lightning Connect helps us to retrieve data just using an OData protocol. This can be easily achieved by any Salesforce user without the help of an experienced developer. We can use any third-party connectors like Jitterbit connector, Progress Data Cloud, etc. to log into any major back office system of our choice, select the objects we need to pull to a Salesforce environment using a unique key, and finally generate the OData URL. We use this OData URL as Salesforce external data source and validate the data from the back office system. Now we can manage the back office data from the external object section of Salesforce. A very important point to note here is that the back office data system does not actually reside in Salesforce environment, but it is reflected real time from the data source. Now, if the connector does not support your back office system as a data source, which is used by the customer, or if exposing the data of a back office system is not practical or feasible using OData protocol, then we can use Apex Lightning Connect framework to build our own custom external connector using Apex. We'll be talking more on Apex Lightning Connect framework later. Now, Dennis will take you through external objects and OData.
Thank you, Aditya. So, what is external objects and OData? For data synchronization in Salesforce, Previously, we used ETL tools like Vegetable Data Loader, Talent Open Studio, Starfish ETL, etc. to bring data from external sources. External objects provide an alternative to such ETL tools. External objects are like custom objects in Salesforce, but the main difference is that they map data that's stored outside your Salesforce environment. External objects connect with the back office system's data using an external data source definition. Each object definition maps to a data table on the external system, and the objects fields map to a table column on the external system. External objects enable your users and the Force.com platform to search and interact with the external system data. Moving on to OData protocol, which is also known as Open Data Protocol, is a REST-based protocol developed by Microsoft for querying and manipulating data. Many people get confused between REST and OData. REST is actually a stateless client-server architectural protocol or a design pattern built for developing network applications, whereas OData is a solution for a protocol which is built over the architectural pattern. The OData standard is primarily used for web applications that relies on relational data models. It uses standard technologies like JSON, HTTP, and Atom XML. By using OData, users can avoid the headache of implementing and defining request and response headers, status codes, HTTP methods, URL endpoints, content types, payload formats, etc. The only entity the user needs to connect with the external system is the URL in OData protocol. This OData URL can be generated from any third-party connector bridging Salesforce and other external applications. As we have already mentioned, if the third-party connector doesn't fulfill your requirement, you can build a custom adapter or a connector using Lightning Connect Apex framework. This custom adapter is built on Apex, which we can use to retrieve data from external systems and incorporate the data locally. Here also, the data is represented in Salesforce external objects, on which the users and the Force.com platform can interact with. To build a custom connector in Salesforce, Lightning Connect uses two built-in classes. They are the dataSource.connection and the dataSource.provider classes. We need to implement these classes to retrieve information from the back office and authenticate using auth or basic username and password authentication. Now, Aditya will take you through a demonstration on Lightning Connect using an example scenario where we retrieve data from Eloqua to Salesforce.
Thank you, Dennis. So here we'll take an example scenario. Now, consider there is a service provider company called Remote Force Corporation, which provides various technology solutions and working softwares to the customers. Remote Force uses Eloqua for inbound marketing. Now, inbound marketing generally involves producing relevant and quality content that pulls lead to a company or product. So the information regarding the leads will be stored in the Eloqua database. Now let's dig deeper into Eloqua software. Well, Eloqua is a marketing automation tool which is specially designed for marketing departments and organizations. It is used effectively to market the company and its products on multiple channels online, like email, social media, websites, etc. Eloqua is useful for companies who are looking out for scalability in their marketing automation solution. As of today, it is part of Oracle Corporation. Eloqua is used by major corporations like eBay, Apple, NBA, and many others to improve their marketing business. Now that Remote Force Corporation has got the information regarding the leads, they want to publicize or market their components, services, and capabilities to those leads to develop better relationships with them, which is otherwise known as outbound marketing. For this purpose, Remote Force Corporation uses the Salesforce CRM. All the details about the leads which is captured in Eloqua is manually entered in the Salesforce CRM by the sales rep. Now let's see the Eloqua dashboard. So yeah, so this is the dashboard of Eloqua. So here we have created a custom object called SF leads. Yeah, just click on SF lead, and we have got three records here. We have created three records here, custom records, John, Matt, and Chloe. Now, now these records need to be shifted to Salesforce environment. It's quite an inconvenient process to manually enter the data of each lead in the Salesforce environment from Eloqua. So, what is the solution to the problem? They need a system which can automatically fetch data from Eloqua to Salesforce. Such a system can be easily configured using the Salesforce1 Lightning Connect. To do this, first we need to generate an OData URL, which can be easily done using a third-party connector. Here we'll be using the Progress Data Direct Cloud. So I am just entering the credentials here. Okay, I got it timed out. Let's try again. Yeah. So we select connect data here. We are being redirected to the dashboard of Progress Data Direct Cloud. Yeah, so this is the dashboard of Progress Data Direct Cloud. Under Data Sources section, click on New Data Source. Here we see various back office systems like MS SQL Server, Marketo, Eloqua, Sugar CRM. Just click on Eloqua. Select the and just type a data source name called SF Eloqua or something. Type your username and password. Then type the company name. Just test your connection. Yeah, it's successfully connected. Click on save, and you've got a data source here. Click on the data source. Go to OData section. Then configure your schema here. So under select schema option, you select Eloqua. Yeah, now here you can see various objects of Eloqua are being listed here. So we select the account object, which is stamped object, and the SF lead object. And make sure that you select a primary key for that object. The primary key will be automatically selected for the stamped object like account. So just save and close, and test your connection. So here you can see that we have generated the OData URL. Let's copy it and click on update. Yeah. So now we move on to our Salesforce org to fetch this data real time. Just in the search box, just type external objects. Sorry, external. You go to external data sources. Actually, you have to create an external data source first to retrieve the external data, to retrieve the external objects. Create a new external data source. Type a name like Eloqua. and select OData 2.0. Paste the URL here. Then set the identity type as name principal. Now, if your organization has got a single username for the entire organization, make sure that you select name principal, or else if each user, each employee in your organization has got a unique username password, select per user. Here we'll be selecting as it as a name principal because we just have a single username password, and set the authentication protocol as password authentication. Type the username and password of Progress Data Cloud here, which is your external connector. Just save. Click on validate and sync. Perfect. And you can see that the two objects which we have selected in the Progress Data Cloud has been listed down here. Select the two checkboxes. Click on sync. Now these two objects are being synced in your Salesforce Org under the external objects section. Yeah, the two objects has been synced. Now, as discussed earlier, these objects are similar to your custom objects in Salesforce. You can create relationships, perform FX operation, perform SOQL, create tabs. Now let's go on and create tabs for those objects. Create a new tab. Select SFT custom external object. Select any tab style. Next. And yeah, make it visible to all the profiles, visible to all the apps. Yeah, and you can see that a tab has been created. We click on the tab, select go. Now the data is being fetched real time from Eloqua to a Salesforce Org. Yeah, and you can see that the three records which we had created in the Eloqua org is being listed down here. So that's all for today. Hope you had a clear understanding on Lightning Connect. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Dennis. It was a pleasure to have you both on board. So, folks, now it's time for the question and answer session. We are ready to address your question. Please type in your question using the question feature on GoToWebinar. We have our first question for the day. Okay, the first question is there some kind of limit to the number of external objects in Salesforce.org?
The limit in is 100 external objects per organization, and it's independent of the number of Lightning Connect add-on instances which you have purchased. It's similar to your custom objects in your Salesforce and the developer edition.
Okay, great. Moving on to our next question. Can we connect to another Salesforce or using Lightning Connect?
Definitely, you can do this without using OData protocol. Just select the type of external source as Lightning Connect Salesforce and enter the few authorization details, and you'll be connected to the other org within seconds.
We have a question from Swati. Do we have to use direct data cloud always?
No, you don't have to use direct data cloud always. You can use other external connectors like Jitterbit data connector. Then we have a talent data connector. We have a lot of connectors which you can use to connect to the external data sources.
Okay, moving on to our next question. If some data is changed in the back office system, will it be reflected in the Salesforce.org?
Yeah, sure. It will be reflected. The new changes are fetched and reflected real time in Salesforce Org.
Okay, we have a question from Bill which says, can Salesforce automatically sync with the Eloqua data, or do you need to manually start the job?
You just need to click the sync button to fetch the data real time from Eloqua. That's it. Just click on the button and you get the data.
Okay, what is the difference between AtomPub and JSON?
OData delivers request in either of the two formats, that is AtomPub and JSON. AtomPub is much more verbose, that is, it defines its data types much more clearly than JSON, whereas JSON is much more simpler than AtomPub.
We have another question. Can we create reports and dashboards on external objects?
Currently, reports and dashboards feature is not enabled for external objects. It will be mostly available from the next Salesforce release.
Okay. The demonstration showed pushing a lead to Salesforce from Eloqua. Changes to lead be pushed back to Eloqua?
No, it can't be pushed back to Eloqua right now. In this feature, this feature is just generally available, and the bidirectional flow will be enabled by Salesforce guys in the next versions, not in this version.
Ron has also asked if the data passed through this process will be secure.
Yes, perfectly secure. Salesforce uses the TLS security for this. It's highly secure process. It uses the TLS security process, which, as you know, is one of the most secure process built in web services.
Okay, we have another question. What are the licensing requirements for using custom adapters?
Custom adapters are part of Lightning Connect. It's sold per external data source. Each data source can be any of the connector types like OData, Salesforce, or custom.
Okay. So a question would be, other than Eloqua, which are the other good marketing automation tools?
There are other good marketing automation tools like HubSpot, Marketo, ExaTarget, etc. Customers can choose any of these tools based on their requirements.
Okay, moving on to our next question. We will have to purchase and renew license for any connector we use. So investing in connector is a good option, or is developing one solution via code?
See, I think investing for a custom connector would be a pretty good option, because you see, when you use Lightning Connect, you will fetch the data real time, and if you do it by a code, you won't get changes real time in your Salesforce Org. So investing for a data connector would be a very good option, and in the future, every major back offices would be using the OData protocol.
Okay, that sounds great. Our final question for the day, how does OData 2.0 and OData 4.0 differ?
Well, there are few changes in the data model, like the relationships between objects. Then there are few changes in URL, semantics, and the format of response, like a much cleaner JSON.
Okay, thank you, folks. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Dennis. That is all the time we had. Please do look up for a follow-up mail. And we'll be alerting you on the on-demand status of this webinar so that you can review any material you missed, or you could simply go over again. And we would really like to apologize for the glitch that has happened earlier today. Sorry for that, and I hope you will get a better understanding while we send you the webinar recording to you. So any further queries that you have will be taken offline. You can reach us at our social media, or you can simply drop us a mail at webinar@suyati.com. So that brings us to the end of our webinar. On behalf of Aditya, Dennis, and our team at Suyati Technologies, I'd like to thank you for joining us and taking your time to attend our webinar. Have a great day.